Hello class, today I will be doing my persuasion speech over an issue that has been in the media for a couple of centuries. What I'm talking about is the death penalty. The death penalty originated around the 18th century and was essentially used on individuals that committed horrific crimes, and the victims' families wanted to make sure that they got to them what they did to their child, grandma, and anybody that they know, relatives, anyone. So, to start off, I am going to list a couple of facts and then I will jump into my main points. Okay, so to get started, I am obviously for the death penalty. I believe that it should only be used for individuals that commit horrific crimes, such as drinking and driving, murder, arson, anything that's like makes you question, like, how could this person even do such a crime? The 5th, 8th, and 14th Amendment permits the use of the death penalty. That's why it is still in use today. Someone that you may know that was on death row is Charles Manson. Although he did not die through lethal injection, he had heart complications and passed away. He was on death row being ready to be executed, although it took several years. Charles Brooks is also the first Texas inmate that was executed through lethal injection in 1970-ish. I think it was 1973. Okay, so a couple points I want to bring up are, I feel that criminals should face their consequences. If you are willing and okay and pretty much enjoy taking people's lives, I feel like you should have the proper consequences for that. My second point, death penalty usually brings closure for the victims' families. If an individual, let's just say, kills one of my family members, I would not want him being housed, bathed, clothed, being given water, food. I would not want that to happen to them every day of their lives. That, to me, that is just as good as living on the outside. You still get fed, you still have a house, you still have clothes. Like, I feel like being put on the death penalty will definitely bring closure to the victims' families. My next point, waiting for an inmate to be lethally injected eventually causes the state a lot of financial burden. Like I said before, you have to be fed every day. That's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They can't physically starve you. They obviously let you live in a cell, which is not as good as a house, but still, you still have a roof, you still have a bed. It's not the most comfortable bed, but they still have to physically give them basic means of life. Like I said, financial burden. Although it does cost a lot to lethally inject an individual, they still have to pay for your basic needs of living. They can't let you sit in there and pretty much rot. It's not humane at all. Another point I want to bring up is, if we punish individuals for their crimes, I feel like it would reduce the number of crimes that are committed by year. So let's say an individual commits a crime, putting them on death row, I feel like I said earlier, would allow them to face their consequences. So if we put all the individuals that commit horrific crimes, murders, anything, drunk driving, car accidents, I feel like that would definitely eventually, not right away, but eventually would reduce the number of crimes that happen every year. I've got all these points from one source. It's called listland.org, and they also go into further detail about why the death penalty should still be active today. Like I said before, I know that individuals may believe that the death penalty goes against the 8th Amendment, which is cruel and unusual punishment. But think of it in your situation. What if an individual commits a horrific crime to one of your siblings, family members, anybody you know? You're going to want to make sure that they get the proper amount of punishment that you feel would be suitable for your family member. I believe that letting an individual sit in jail and pretty much not do anything all day is not going to help reduce the number of crimes. Eventually, they might get out, they might not, they might be in prison for life, but I feel they're not being punished correctly. So that's why I am for the death penalty. So I leave you with those points, and I want you to think, are you for the death penalty or against it? Thank you.